Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending this Family Connection Workshop series, Seeing the Awesome in Autism. This is part two of the three-part series highlighting the community resources available for families living with an exceptional family member. My name is Rebecca Headings. I am a family outreach representative with VB Schools Office of Family and Community Engagement. The focus of today's Family Connection is identifying the social and recreational activities offered through FACT, Families of Autism Coming Together. Now I would like to welcome Sherry Bragg, the supervisor of FACT. Sherry, if you could please begin by telling us a little bit about yourself and about the FACT program.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start my presentation. All right. So my name is Sherry Bragg. I am the Director of Programming here at FACT, Families of Autism Coming Together, formerly known as Families of Autistic Children of Tidewater. We did undergo a name change, but for those that have known us prior to the name change, it's still the same programming. We've just expanded services pretty greatly since we got into our new building. So we wanted to kind of encompass a little bit of everything that we have to offer now. We are most known for our summer camp, Camp Gonna Wanna Go Again. So we'll talk about that for a good portion of tonight. But a little bit more about why we do what we do. We want to provide a place that is here for the autism community. So a place where somebody with autism can come and be who they are, when they want to be it, and how they want to be it. So we provide different sports, social, recreation, and leisure programming to enhance social communication skills and promote community integration in the naturalistic setting. We recently opened our FACT Autism Resource Center a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So I'd like to share a little promotional video that kind of explains why we do what we do, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail.
It's a fact. Around 1 in 36 children in the US has been identified with autism. Around 1% of the world's population has autism spectrum disorder. That's more than 75 million people. The nonprofit Families of Autistic Children of Tidewater, better known as FACT, recently opened its doors to the largest community facility for autism in Hampton Roads.
We've been doing our summer camp since about 1996. And throughout all those years up until this year, we've always been nomadic is how I describe it, where we'd kind of host camp in one location for as long as we could, renting space and then having to find another one. So it's nice that we finally locked down a permanent long-term home for our programs, for our families, and it really is allowing us to grow and exponentially increase our impact for the Hampton Roads community and the autism community in general.
The 21,900 square foot resource center features a 5,000 square foot multi-purpose friendship hall for summer camps and year-round art, music, leisure, social, and educational programs. A 1,900 square foot sensory gym, the largest in Virginia Beach, a 1,900 square foot gym for sports, and office and activity spaces for other organizations benefiting those with autism.
Now that we have this space, now we get to grow and expand and do more. And it becomes easier. We're not having to rent on an hourly basis for anything we do. So we can really increasing programs, doing more for adults. There's a lack of adult services, doing more for kids who are homeschooled in the autism community, having a place for them to go during the school year, increasing our after school and weekend programs. So the idea is just to do more and more and more.
When you have a child with a disability, sometimes it's a little bit hard to let them go and spread their wings. But to know that I could have a set of eyes and ears on my son where I'm not even present, but yet he can be comfortable to be himself around peers, people that won't judge him.
They're going to have fun and they're going to make them feel like a kid. And then when they grow up like this guy, they're going to make them feel like, a young man.
I went to the camp and I'm gonna want to go again. It was so much fun. Woo!
Families now have the opportunity to have physical, speech, and occupational therapy by Centera, parenting training by the Autism Society, and a licensed social worker specializing in mental health and psychotherapy. And volunteers are always welcome.
Life is hard enough. So when you can have a sense of community, you can have a sense of understanding, it means the world.
So that's a little bit about FACT in a 3-minute video, but also a little bit of our new facility and the opportunity we were given to expand our programming. So a little bit about myself. I am the director of programming. I was a special educator for 5 years in Virginia Beach City Public Schools. I started volunteering for FACT when I was 9 years old, and just I stayed with the organization ever since and just kind of climbed the ladder to the top. And I'm very thankful and blessed that I have the opportunity to provide the programming for our community, and I get to play every day that I come to work. So much so that that's actually me on my wedding day and one of my first campers when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. So it's pretty awesome that it becomes family and part of our community. So a little bit of what we have here, we have different camp programs, social programs, year-round sports and leisure programs, after-school programs, adult programs, and free family fun days throughout the year. What that means, our summer camp, a little bit of statistics from last year. We typically bring on about 40 to 45 individuals with autism a week. We run 7 one-week sessions. So campers with autism who are 6 and older can participate for 1 week of summer camp. So that led us to 264 campers last year in summer camp alone. We also start our neurotypical volunteers at 10 years old, a little bit of reverse mainstream. So our neurotypical volunteers are partnered and paired up with our campers with autism. So that camper has a built-in buddy and a best friend for the week that they are with us at camp. Fun fact, we consumed about close to 600 cupcakes last summer, 588 cupcakes. So we have a party every Friday. We celebrate anybody's birthdays, anybody's reason to celebrate. There's always something to celebrate, but if not, it's always the end of camp and we have a karaoke party. It's a fun way to send off everybody and start the next week of camp. We field tripped 70 times last summer, so we field trip every day, twice a day, once to swim, once to play. So we do visit Ocean Breeze 7 times a summer and go to the beach 14 times. We swim every day and then field trip to different places in the community. Why do we do it? What better way to work on your social and communication skills than fully immersed in your community with your partners and your peer buddies and your support staff right there with you. So we fully believe in community integration and working on, it's not work if you're having fun. So while we're at Ocean Breeze, while it might not be a full-blown speech session, we're working on communication. What do you want? Where do you want to go? Hey, why don't we wait for our friend? Let's make a choice. Can we compromise? And that's all kind of integrated through play, working on those skills in a recreational setting. Again, that community integration piece, a lot of times if we can't go into the community, we bring the community to us. So that's one of our campers in the picture right there, having the opportunity to play with different filming cameras from one of the filming studios around in Virginia Beach. A lot of field trips to Ocean Breeze, botanical gardens, the aquarium, everything of the sort. There's just a little bit more of what we do, or where we go, better yet. Living Museum, there's really no limits as to where we go, just as long as the place has the space for us. We rent out skate houses. We'll go to the zoo, Hampton Aquaplex. We've gone to the Air and Space Center, a bunch of different Virginia Beach rec centers to rent the pools. Very thankful that the rec centers have allowed us to rent their pools and their spaces. but field trips are limitless. A lot of times we take pride in the fact that a lot of times with the autism comes hesitation to new things. So there's something to be said that doing something with a friend is far different than doing something with a mother or a family member nagging down and nagging at you and telling you to do all these things. So there's a lot of different exposure opportunities that come with playing golf with a friend or going kayaking with a friend. Versus just another thing you have to go do with mom or brother or something of the sort. So a lot of times we're developing new skills or different exposure to different things. And it's also comforting to know that once there's exposure, there's desire to go back. So for example, one of our campers, it took years to get to the aquarium. It took us a lot of exposure before stepping foot into the building. But over time, we've built comfort and trust in that camper. And now going to the aquarium is another, it's a walk in the park. So that's pretty fun. A lot of different opportunities and different things. And we do that with our dedicated staff. So our summer camp is staffed one-on-one or one-on-two to our campers with autism, depending on the different level of support needs. And then our year-round programming is typically staffed one-on-three or one-on-two, depending on the support needs of the year-round programming. And we do that through staff training and different staff requirements and background checks and the passion that we look for when we hire different FACT employees. But our summer camp, so we have about 45 campers with autism a week, which means I have about a staff of 50 or 60 between my supervisors and group leaders. So that allows us to give that unique camp experience to anybody who is registered for that summer camp season. Summer camp is unfortunately full and closed for pre-registration. It's typically open the month of February. So next year, if you have not gotten on that list, I would highly recommend looking for that registration in February or participating in year-round programs. So you kind of have the inside scoop as to when that summer camp registration goes live. We do have 3 weeks reserved to our adults. So there are 3 weeks of summer where individuals 12 and younger are not able to attend. Those are specifically reserved for our adults. So the adults will never have to have, they have competition within their own age range for their own programming. And those weeks of camp are designed for adults. So instead of going to the Children's Museum, we'll go to Topgolf. Or we'll go to Motor World or something that is geared more towards the adult population. Our tuition levels, we are very thankful that this year and last year we had the opportunity to offer a Chartway Promise scholarship to our lower income, higher support needed families. And we're very thankful that we have that again this year. So for those families, there's different tuition level assistance built into every program that we do. And everything is typically out of pocket. We don't bill insurance or any waivers or anything of the sort. But we do have different scholarships and financial aid opportunities that are already built into FACT itself as a nonprofit. The Chartway Promise Scholarship is one of those scholarship opportunities where families can present their need for support. And then Chartway has granted a certain amount of campers to attend camp for $40. So they don't have to foot that $400 bill for campers to come to camp for a week in the summer. Our different social programs, these programs meet once a month. And these are geared towards our individuals who are looking for community engagements and companionship. So we like to do what the in thing is. So our teen time, they're for 13 to 18 year olds who are looking for a night away from parents, for lack of a better word. The social club are for 19 and older. Out and About is for 13 and older. And those are all programs where we go somewhere in the community on a Friday or Saturday night during the school year. So March, we're going to the circus. We do Monster Jam. We do movie theaters. We've done Harlem Globetrotters, kind of whatever the in thing is for entertainment for that month. That's where we'll be with a group of our teens or adults. Open Sports Clinic is an in-house program that we offer once a month on a Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. Offers a place for individuals who don't enjoy maybe going into the community, a place to come and hang out and play basketball or game or network in the comforts of the building on a Saturday night. We have expanded our year-round programming, thankfully, through the supports of opening the doors to the Fact Autism Resource Center. We now have a program every night of the week, every week of the year. There's something to do and kind of geared towards a variety of interests. So the type of programming that we do is not tied or limited to really much of anything other than me finding an instructor and designing the program. So we've done things like baking, Comic-Con, costume design class, camping. We go on an annual camping trip every year, take the families in the woods after 8 weeks of learning how to be in the woods. We do a handful of a little bit of everything, whatever there's interest in. A pretty unique story is one of our adults at summer camp expressed concerns to his staff that he was actually not able to take a computer coding class in his high school because he unfortunately did not meet the math prerequisites. But he had this high fascination in designing computer programming. So the staff took it upon herself to kind of learn the ins and outs of, I can't remember the software we used right now, but she took it upon herself, a high school student, to learn the ins and outs of a computer software program and created an 8-week course around using that software. And we ran a STEM computer coding class just out of interest of him not being accepted or invited to his school's computer programming class. And he was so ecstatic and he flourished in the program, which was pretty awesome to see. And it was pretty awesome that the teenager took the time to do the research and develop the program. So it's pretty, we also have free programming kind of sprinkled in throughout the year. So our walk-in talks will typically meet once spring starts, and we just have a group of individuals that will meet together and walk around a city park. Just another way to have an outlet and express who they are and how they want to be it, and build those friendships within the community. So now we'll talk a little bit about our home. So about 2 years ago, we opened the doors to the Fact Autism Resource Center, where it is almost 22,000 square feet of fun. So the first floor is rented out to 7 other organizations, and then the second floor is all built out for Fact. We have a sensory gym, we have a basketball gym, and we have the Factivity Hall where we do majority of our programming. Here's the map, kind of explains a little bit more about who is downstairs and the design of the building. It looks pretty small if you're driving by, but if you ever are driving by and want to pop by, just feel free to come on in. We do offer tours year round, and kind of on a as needed schedule. We do understand everybody has different scheduling needs and different appointments and everything. But downstairs, we do have 7 organizations, all providing something a little different to our families who are diagnosed, are looking to be diagnosed, or have a later in life diagnosis. There are also organizations in our building that service more than individuals diagnosed with autism. So in our building, the first floor is mostly office space, but we do have that half-court basketball gym in the back of the building. That's where we do all of our sport programming year-round, our scootering, our bubbles, Zumba, all the things recreational for camp and year round. Upstairs, towards the back of the building is our sensory gym that has been built out for individuals who are seeking any sort of sensory inputs. We have zip lines and swings and foam pits. There's also a quiet room that is designed to kind of meet the needs of any sensory input you need. The carpeted walls, the squeeze swings, the squeeze chairs. It's soundproof so that it is the quietest room in the whole building. And then we have our boardroom and our offices upstairs next to the Factivity Hall. We also have a working kitchen upstairs where we teach different life skills and different home style kitchen trainings. We do have a baking program, that's where that's held, where individuals will work on or learn the foundations of cooking and kind of different home style cooking programs. We also have a laundry room, so there has been different adult programmings geared towards life skill programs, learning how to do the laundry, fold the laundry, sort, all of the boring adult tasks that we have to do. We have allocated space to provide those structured supports to learn those different skills. There's also a stage in the Factivity Hall. So we also put on and perform a musical every year. Take pride in kind of adapting the musical to meet the needs of all abilities. And that does showcase typically in May. It's open to the public. And then we also love our karaoke. So that stage is also used a lot for some karaoke with our guys. The other organizations in the building all provide something a little different. We have social butterflies that are in the building, and they provide different social communication therapies, typically in a group setting. They have different programs available both at the FACT Autism Resource Center and their other location. They do have 2 locations. They have also built out a sensory gym in their office space and have different adult programming opportunities as well. They have a pretty unique program called Love on the Spectrum, where individuals who are neurodivergent and of the older population can work on different social communication skills of making the intimate connections with one another. And it's a pretty unique program for our neurodivergent adults. We have Easter Seals who, if I go back, you can kind of see their space towards the back of the building. They have built out an industrial style kitchen. So they offer different culinary therapies to individuals of any diagnoses, where they have structured programming to provide different types of programming through culinary therapies. They have adapted almost everything in the kitchen to meet the needs of any individual that's wanting to learn how to cook. Anywhere from modified equipment to telehealth therapies. Their camera system is pretty amazing in there. They have smoothie bikes and all the adapted equipment that you can think of for the kitchen. Autism Society and Commonwealth Autism are both in our building. They are free resources to our families. So if there's any family that's ever looking for anything autism related, they are free to call and say, hey, I'm looking for this support. Help me. So if you're looking for somebody to diagnose, if you're looking for a therapist for any sort of unique needs, if you're looking for a dentist, if you're looking for camps, if you're looking for waiver assistance, they don't help with the waiver, but they can point you in the right direction of like how to get a case manager, what's the process to get on the community, any sort of waiver. They can point you in the right direction on how to get that process started. They also have some programming, but primarily offer those resources to our families. Centera is in our building. Centera provides occupational, physical, and speech therapy. I'm not too sure of their age range or their process of receiving therapies, but they are in our building as well. And they have also built out a OTPT gym and a little quiet sensory area in the building. 8 and others in the building, and they provide different sports, social, recreational programming to individuals with all neurodivergent abilities. So they are primarily known for their dances and their baseball program. And then we have Lighter Counseling. He is our mental health therapist who specializes in providing different unique mental health therapies to individuals with neurodivergent abilities. He has also built out a sensory gym in a quiet space to kind of help those who have a hard time opening up, build comfort and trust in opening up. So it's pretty awesome. We are on Virginia Beach Boulevard, right next to, well, the SOS thrift store, but they are actually, I think, moving pretty soon. But the SOS thrift store also provides supports to Virginia Beach City Public Schools. But we are right next to Dunkin' Donuts and kind of next to Sam's Club and Catty Corner to BJ's, right off the Rosemont Road exit on Virginia Beach Boulevard. So our expanding impact, a little bit more statistics. Since 2021, there's been a 63.5% increase in the amount of individuals that we have serviced. So last year, 404 individuals with autism registered 1,574 times for different programs that we have available in the building. That picture is probably 3/4 of our summer camp group for 1 week in the summer. So it's pretty unique and awesome that we are able to provide these services to those diagnosed with autism at any point, at any stage, with any ability levels or any amount of support needs in the community. We never say no to somebody diagnosed with autism. We have staff that are equipped to take to support and guide anybody who is registered for our programming. We provide different staffing ratios for different programs, but like I said earlier, we do provide that one-on-one support for those that need higher levels of support, which allows, again, for that unique experience. Expanding opportunities. Because of the building, we have been able to expand our adult services, which include our after-school program. Our after-school program, we have a Hero internship and a program called Back Gives Back. So these 3 programs are pretty unique and pretty prominent in our year-round planning. We do have outreach with Portsmouth Public Schools, where we go to different high schools in Portsmouth, high school and middle schools. We go to 4 different schools in Portsmouth, pick up individuals from their school and bring them back to the resource center for a safe place to play basketball, play video games, assistance with homework. And they've actually kind of shifted their focus into wanting to bake and be in that kitchen every time that they're here. So they've taken a strong liking to learning more about and adapting their skills to be in the kitchen. We have a Hero internship where we employ different individuals who have neurodivergent abilities and basically provide a paid year-long internship where we are allowing workforce development skills to allowing them to explore different workforce development skills. So through the Hero internship, it's an ongoing process. As one graduates, we like to hire and start the next potential candidate that's interested. But in the Hero internship, each employee will be assigned 20 different goals, and 15 of the goals are preset. So we also have a gift shop in our resource center that is run and maintained by the individuals in the Hero internship. 5 of the goals that they will be working on over the course of the year will be learning how to use the cash register, stock, do different inventory skills, obviously work on their sales pitch for selling items, and kind of being able to run a storefront and different aspects of collecting and receiving money. 5 of the goals of the Hero internship will be directed in the field of reception. So they'll work on answering phones, answering the door, sending professional emails, scheduling tours, and kind of filtering phone calls. So if anybody calls the building, our Hero interns will first answer the call and then transfer to where they need to be. So they screen every phone call that comes into the building. 5 of the goals that they work on over the course of the year are in the area of light janitorial skills. So they'll have a hand at changing mop heads, creating mop solutions, sweeping, taking out the trash. And then if there's interest in vehicle maintenance, some adults have expressed interest more recently in doing light vehicle maintenance. So changing wiper blades, windshield wiper fluids, automotive detailing, with hopes to get a job detailing automotives, I guess when they exit the internship. And then 5 goals are open for discussion. So whatever the FACT Hero intern decides that they see as a weakness, or whatever they want to work on that we can support in the work environment, they have the freedom and flexibility to identify 5 goals for themselves. So for example, we have one employee in the internship currently who is in school for graphic design. So there has been interest in wanting to explore different graphic design opportunities. So they are currently working on all of the material for our storefront, the signage, the sales pitch, and a little bit of all that stuff. That kind of sums up the Hero internship. That's an ongoing adult program. That the internship itself is a year, but it's ongoing and something for the adult community that we can provide those supports. We also have FACT Gives Back. That's one of our other adult programs that meets twice a week, every Wednesday and Friday. It's open to whoever wants to sign up whenever they want to sign up, as long as they're 18 or older. We have a different crew sign up almost every Wednesday and Friday. But the idea is that they would come to the facility and then go somewhere in the community to volunteer and give back. So we've gotten a group together every Wednesday and Friday for about a year now. And we go different places like the food bank. We'll go to Hermitage, Salvation Army, different churches, and organize their food pantries or clothes closets. Anywhere in the community that we can volunteer, or retirement homes or hotels, loading towels. The idea is that we have a group of adults with neurodivergent abilities that are in the community giving back to the supports that support us. So that is a unique adult program that we have as well. And then we also have free holiday themed parties every year. We have 3 parties a year, typically themed to the holidays. So we do have a trunk or treat. It was hosted at Kempsville High School last year. That was pretty popular. We have a bunch of different community partners and different families that design trunks, and it's a safe place for neurodivergent participants to come and collect candy in an environment that is supportive and understanding of all of the anxieties and fears that might come with Halloween time. And then we host a winter wonderland where we service or bring in different services to provide the unique winter wonderland experience for our families. We bring in different organizations to provide different supports for that event. We'll bring in toys and Santa and different entertainment and we provide service for about 400 to 500 participants at the Christmas event. The other event we typically host is in April, our Autism Acceptance Month Family Fun Day, where it's at Equikids. And we do different like pony nature walks and different opportunities to network and engage with the community at Equikids. So a little bit about how the community can get involved. If you don't have anybody diagnosed with autism that's currently in your house or in your immediate life, there's always opportunities to support and get involved in your autism community. Of course, donating, fundraising, volunteering, and just spreading the word. Everybody knows somebody. As far as fundraising, we do have our biggest annual fundraiser. It's May 17th. It's typically the third Saturday of May. This is our biggest and most prominent fundraiser we host. If you want to attend, we would love to have you. Tickets, I believe, are on sale now. If attending is not of interest, we do collect donation items and also volunteers. We need about 60 volunteers from the community to run this event. And then if none of that appeals to you and you just want to scroll the items on your phone, you don't have to have a ticket to bid and win and scroll those silent auction items. It is at the ARE, which is at the oceanfront on Saturday, May 17th. There's a live band and Yummy Goodness catering at the event. So it's a fun night. Come out and party under the stars with us and raise some funds to support all the programming and support the different opportunities we have for our autism community. We have a donation program called Becoming an Autism Advocate. So this program is designed so you can donate different funds monthly if there's interest. And you can different funds a month are allocated or not allocated, but described as to what supports the different programs that we have. And then, of course, any third-party fundraisers. We love to be in the community. If there's any lemonade stands or peer-to-peer fundraising, the Yellowback Classic. If you work for an organization or a company that is looking for a charity to give back to, we do have our CEO and myself don't mind coming to do presentations or anything of the sort to kind of spread the word and spread the opportunities to involve our autism community, involve and integrate our autism community in the Virginia Beach area. Any area, not strictly tied to Virginia Beach, but. And then of course, volunteering. So again, we do start our volunteers at 10 years old with the hopes that if volunteers start at 10, they volunteer at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then are ready to change the world at 16, become an employee and go do big things for a neurodivergent community. With the hopes that the more volunteers we bring into our building, the more that would go out into the community, being those advocates and being the voice for those that don't have a voice, and being the supports to our individuals with autism. We have volunteer opportunities are year round as well. So not just at summer camp, but we also, any program we have during the year typically will also include a volunteer opportunity. And then of course, spread the word. Spread the word. Any volunteer, anything helps. So now, yep, we have some time. I'd like to kind of go through the process of what it looks like to register for a program, or what you might see if there's interest in clicking around on the website. So these 4 links right here are kind of the 4 links that FACT lives off of. This one right here is our general website. This is our registration. The second one is our registration website. The third one is typically where we do some our volunteer signups. And then the last one is our lawn party website. So I think we have some time. I will go through the whole process from start to finish if there's ever interest in registering for a program as either a participant or a camper. So you'll start with our website. This is our website. All of the tabs across the top. And then of course, everything as you scroll to the bottom. There's that video we watched. And then a little bit of everything. But the main thing you're going to look for as far as registration is concerned is you'll go here to that calendar or this huge yellow bar at the top. If you know anybody 16 or older looking for a job, the employment application is here. They can download it, fill it out, and send it back. But if you click here, this will take you to our landing page. Now, the confusing part is anywhere you see that says register here for programming will take you to this page. So if you're looking for a social program, you don't have to click on just the social tab. Anywhere you see registration will take you here. This is the page that will change typically every 8 weeks. So every 8 weeks, we have a new round of programming going live. We typically run in seasons. So you'll see 8 weeks of registration for your fall, so September, October. You'll see about 6 weeks of programming opportunities for November, December because of all the holidays. You'll see an 8-week program for January, February, and you'll see an 8-week program for March, April. So this is the page that you really want to save if you are interested in registering. All of these registrations will change from time to time. These are the programs that we currently have open. So we just started our soccer program, just started tennis, camping. This is our musical, so it's still open to be part of our musical EIEI Oops. This is our Gives Back program where we have our adult volunteers. This is that once a month sports clinic where we have the in-house program from Saturdays 6 to 9, once a month. And then we also have a go behind the scenes program where those that don't feel comfortable presenting work on different stagehand processes. So learning how to hang the lights, run the microphones, run wiring, all the things that go on behind the scene. And then both behind the scenes and the presenters come together for the musical on May 8th. And the behind the scenes crew runs the presentation. It's pretty awesome. And then our volunteer registration for summer camp is still open. Unfortunately, our camper registration is closed. So any of these, you'll click on whatever you're interested in. And typically volunteer registration's on the same link. So if you want to volunteer for soccer, you'll click view. And then these are all of our sessions that we have available. Here's your volunteer registration. If you're 11 to 14, there's still space. And there is a wait list for 15 and older and 6 to 10-year-olds. Now, anytime you see something that says waitlist, we do highly recommend that you still register for the waitlist. No payments are collected at the time of registering. Because what that does is that indicates to me that if I can bring on 1 or 2 more staff and we have the space and the resources, I can hopefully clear that waitlist. The waitlist is only indicating to me that there's high interest and I need to bring on more staff, which typically can get done. So let's say you want to register for, you have a 12-year-old and you want to register for the 8-week soccer program, and you qualify for food stamps and you get SSI. So that would qualify me for reduced tuition. I'm going to check that box and add it to my cart. And then, so up here, you see your shopping cart. This is what I have in my cart. So it's kind of just like shopping any store online. And then you'll click continue. This will ask you to create an account. So you'll have to have an email and a password, and this is what you'll use anytime you register for any of our programming. So you'll go ahead and go through there, and then you'll sign in. This is a fake account that I created. And then it'll ask you who's attending. So these are any of your family members that are either volunteering or attending. And then you'll click continue, and then you'll get a slew of questions. All of these questions are asked for a purpose, and we ask for honest answers. So these questions indicate to me the amount of staff that I need present so we can gain success for your child for that program. A lot of times they are seemingly like over the top questions, like why do you need to know if my child has asthma or diabetes or auditory processing? Well, it's so I can provide the best supports that I can provide so that child is independently successful in our programming. The only program that parents are required to stay for are our are our sport programs on the weekends. Any other program during the school year is an independent program, even for 6-year-olds. So you'll enter all this information. Once you do it once, it typically will save your information for future use. You'll enter your emergency contacts, you'll sign your waivers, you'll get your parent information, and then all of the waivers and agreements. You'll click on it, you can read all of that, click on it, agree to the active registration. So it's a pretty straightforward process. And then it'll take you to the payment page. So here, I've qualified for the reduced tuition. I do have the option to, typically you'll have the option to pick a payment plan. So you can pay in full or pick a payment plan, and then there's typically different amounts or different plans. So if you want 3 payments of $13.67 or 4 payments of $10.25, these are the dates that they'll be withdrawn. So pretty straightforward with what we have to offer, and then your credit card information. And then you'll complete, and then you'll get an email saying that your registration was complete and you're good to go. And then there'll be communication as far as who, what, when, where, why, and how you'll be successful for that program. And you'll do the same thing for volunteers. Typically, your volunteer questions are a little different, but we still need to know primary contacts and all of that for our volunteers. Our lawn party website was that last website on the PowerPoint, but this will take you to the page where you can sponsor or buy event tickets or bid remotely on the night of the event. This is our party page with all of our party information. Feel free to check it out or spread the word or donate or bid on May 17th. There's some pretty cool items in there. This is our Sign Up Genius, where you'll typically see our volunteer registrations. So volunteer registrations live for Party Under the Stars. And then if anybody interested who meets the age requirements and the time requirements, you can sign up here to volunteer for our fundraiser. I think that is pretty much it. As far as my presentation goes. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. And I think we have about 13 minutes for questions. Or do I turn it back over to you?
Thank you so much. Just a couple of questions in the chat. One was, how old is your youngest participant in any of the programs?
So great question. FACT itself, we start at 6 years old. So any program that FACT itself offers, we start at 6. The other organizations, the other 7 organizations in our building all have different and varying age ranges, and we're all in our building, but we all operate independent of each other, if that makes sense. So I know there's organizations in our building that service younger than 6.
And the other question you already answered was how to sign up to volunteer at the Party Under the Stars event. And so I think that it is wonderful that there are so many volunteer opportunities, just to continue that idea of engagement, and everybody having a talent that they can bring to support the Autism Society and our autism community.
Yes, thank you.